Do you want to know how I use Microsoft Teams to be as productive as possible? Then I've got 10 top tips for you. Hi, I'm Stuart Ridout and I am a modern work customer success manager here at Microsoft. And today I want to talk to you about how I use Microsoft Teams to be as productive as possible in my daily life. Now, we've got loads and loads of new announcements that have come out from Ignite with breakout features and all sorts of funky meeting recap options. But actually, there are loads and loads of great things that you can do today just by making little tweaks that can make you a little bit more productive in Teams. So let's dig in. We'll stop talking about this and I'm going to share my 10 top tips. So my first one is around scheduling meetings and specifically around scheduling meetings from channel messages. So I can see here I'm in Teams and I'm in a chat at the moment with Adele. And we've been talking about this updated report and I've said, can we chat about this? And Adele has said, yep, I can do 4 p.m. today. Now, what lots of people would do is now kind of jump out either into the calendar here or even out into Outlook and set up a meeting from there. But you can actually do it really quickly and easily just from this bottom bar here using this little icon here, this little calendar with a plus. So all I need to do is just click that there and that will pop me out to the calendar. But you can see that it's already pre-filled Adele's details in here. And I can just say meet about document. Okay, I can see that Teams does try and find the suggested times where we can meet. So it might pre-fill that for you. But I can just hit 4 o'clock there, hit send. And then it pops me back out to my chat and I can say, great, sent an invite. So really quick, it's kind of not taken me out of my context and my flow too much, just done what I needed to do, but just from that little icon there on that bottom bar. Okay, the next one, number 2, is around Teams and how you can make things stand out. So I'm actually going to create my own new team here. So let's just go through. I'm going to create it from scratch. Let's make it a public one. And I'm going to say that it's going to be about IT support. Okay. And I'm going to create that. Now, obviously, we've got loads and loads of teams that are all down here on the side. And we've got loads of channels. And sometimes we need something that helps them to stand out a little bit more. So here I'm in my IT support channel. And I just want to make my channels just a little bit easier for people to get to. And as I say, stand out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and add a channel. But if you use emoji at the start of the channel, then A, it puts it higher up the channel list, but B, it really helps it to stand out. So let's say that I was going to have one here called bug reports. Okay, that doesn't particularly stand out. But if I press Windows and full stop, then I can access the emoji panel. Here you go, like this, in a similar way to what you would do if you were on a phone. You would obviously get those emojis, and it would display that in the same way. So Windows and full stop, I'm going to hit bug. There it is, and I'm going to pop that into there for bug reports. And let's just do another one. Okay, I'm going to add another channel here, and let's say that this one is going to be, have we got one for help? There you go. And there's this little SOS icon here. So zooming in out messes that up a bit. There you go, help. Okay. And here I can say, call this channel, help me. There you go. And just by using that emoji keyboard, it allows it to really stand out and helps people to navigate much quicker to the channel that they need because it just gives them those visual cues to get where they need to be. And kind of along the same lines here is around chats. So obviously I've not got too many chats here in this one, but very quickly, and I'm sure you'll know that once you start using Teams a lot, the number of channels, the number of chat messages that you get kind of builds up. And when we start to have group chats, it's very easy to kind of lose the context of what that chat's around. So I'm going to start a new chat here, and I'm going to have this chat with Nesta, and I'm going to have it with Adele, and I'm going to have it with Miriam. There we go. Okay. Hey there. This is the IT support chit chat. There you go. And just for my little team, this is just kind of where we can chat about what's happening in IT. So you can see here that it just says Adele, Miriam, and Nesta. And as I say, once those chats kind of build out, it's a little bit harder to get the context around that. So in my chat, I'm going to go where it says Adele, Miriam, and Nesta. And there's a little pencil next to that icon. And here I can just type a group name. And because I love some emoji, there we go. I'm just going to add a little computer there at the start, and I'm going to say IT group chit chat. So it allows it to stand out a little bit more, but actually it makes it easy, and that renames it for everybody who's in that chat. So it adds that level of context to everybody so they can quickly find the chat that they want. And they can access that really quickly. And just a secondary tip, so I'm not going to count this in my top 10, but if this is a chat that I want to have all of the time, if I can right click it, there is an option here to say pin, and that will now be pinned at the top. So you can see here, I've got these pinned chats here. Okay, and then underneath I've got all of my recent chats. So as I go through, those recent chats will kind of change order, but these pinned ones will always be at the top. Okay, chat tip number 4 is about tweaking our notifications. So when you start using Teams, obviously it tries to push you back into Teams as much as possible, just because we understand that people are changing, moving from like email and things. So you might find that the notifications you get could be a little bit overwhelming in some cases. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to my face here, and I'm going to go to settings and to notifications here. And you can see here I've got teams and channels. So there are some preset ones here. So I could say like all activity. So just give me desktop and activity notifications for all of those things. We've got ones about mentions and replies. Or custom. So I've actually got custom settings set up. So you can see here that it's split into chat, meetings, people, and other. So if I can say, well, I'm getting too many chat notifications, I can hit edit, and it says app mentions, banner, and feed. So the banner is that kind of pop-up message that comes down here in the bottom. And then the feed is that activity feed up the top there. So I could change those and say maybe only just show that in the feed. And you can go through that and tweak that however you want. There is another place though where you can also tweak notifications, because you can do it at the team level as well. So if I go to the Mark 8 team here, you can see it's quite a busy team, and I can see all of those channels, and I can actually customize my notifications even down to that channel level. So maybe say this design team is very busy. So if I hit the ellipsis next to design, okay, and here we can see there's channel notifications. So just zoom in a bit there. And you can say, give me all of the activity. So that will kind of give you a notification anytime any post comes in. So that's quite useful. If you've got a channel which is really important to watch, then you can use that channel notification to make sure that it's shown to you correctly all the time. Okay, I could have them off completely, or as I say, there are these custom ones here. So if I hit channel notifications and do custom, you can say, actually, don't give me a notification for new posts, but give me notifications if that channel is mentioned. So a couple of clever little ways that you can do that. Okay, the next one is actually on mobile. So we know if you're using mobile, the notifications come through. They're really useful during the day, but in the evening time, maybe we don't want those notifications. So if you're in there are actually quiet hours which are available to you. So I'm going to go into the Teams app, and I'm going to go to the burger menu, this line in the top left. And we've got notifications here. So if I click notifications here in the top corner, I've got this option at the top that says quiet hours. So quiet hours allows us to define quiet hours where we don't have notifications, or even complete quiet days. So here in my settings, I've said I don't want any notifications of Teams activity from 7 p.m. through till 8 a.m. But also, I don't work Sundays and Thursdays, so I don't want any notifications on Sundays or Thursdays. And you can just tap on this and change the quiet hours here, or quiet days. You can just turn them on or off there. And what's quite important to note is if you're using your phone for personal messages as well, so let's say that you've got Teams set up to use with your family on a personal account, those quiet hours don't apply to that. So you won't get messages from your work colleagues, but you will still get messages from your family. So a really nice way that we can set that up there. Okay, so the next tip is if you use multiple tenants, so if you're a guest in different tenants. So you can see here in my version of Teams, I've got Contoso up here in the top right-hand corner, and there's a little drop down there. And so that means that I actually work across multiple tenants. So you can see here that Contoso is my home tenant, but I'm also a guest in the Microsoft tenant. And I can click that and switch between those. But what if I need to have I'm working in both of them side by side? So the way that you can handle this, and I often do this, is to actually use Teams in the browser as well. So I'm just going to bring in across a browser session here. So I've gone to office.com and I'm logged in here as Megan. So I'm going to click this Teams icon here, or you could just go to teams.microsoft.com. And instead of going into the Windows app, I'm going to use the web app instead. And you can see here, it's still showing me in Contoso. So I'm going to click the drop down and I'm going to change that to be on the Microsoft tenant as the guest. And it will just do that switching. So now I can have them side by side. So it's telling me that I'm joining as a guest. That's fine. And here you can see I'm a member of this DevOps channel here, but it's within the Microsoft tenant. So now I can do kind of quick switching between my Contoso home tenant and my Microsoft tenant here where I'm a guest. And what's really clever is if you're using the Edge Chromium browser, you can go up to here and go to apps, and it says install this site as an app. And you can do that there. And what it will do now, let's just pop onto my other screen. There it is. You can see that it's now even made it look like a bit more like the desktop app, and I can pin that to my taskbar. So now if I close that, I can very quickly just click that and it opens up. It looks very similar to the desktop app. There you go, and it's gone straight into my Microsoft tenant. So really quick, easy way to be able to switch between those two different tenants. Okay, next tip is around bookmarking topics. So lots of the time you'll go through and you'll see things in Teams and you'll kind of go, oh, that's useful information. I want to refer to that later. And there's a really easy way to do that with bookmarking in Teams. So I'm going to go into the Mark 8 project team here. Okay, and I'm scrolling back. Let's find one. And let's say that this is a really interesting post that I want to keep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go onto this ... ellipsis and I'm going to save this message. Let's just do it in a couple of other places as well. So I'm going to go into the research and development channel. I might want to copy this code snippet and let's go into the Sales West channel. And I want to save the sales team initiatives here. So I've got a few different things that I've saved. So what I can do now is if I go up to my face in that Teams client, one of the options is saved. So if I click saved, then you can see here that it's given me all of my different saved posts here. And then I can say, all right, okay, I'm done with this now. I don't need to save this anymore. And I can just click to unhide that, to unsave that message rather. And some people use this as a way to kind of manage their time or manage their tasks by clicking to save and bookmark topics. So that's great there. Okay, nearly there at the end. Tip number 8 is to filter notifications. So where I've got my feed here, I've got lots and lots of different notifications and things that have come into my activity feed. And sometimes we want to just be able to kind of filter those down and just find the ones that are relevant to us. So here, if I go up to feed and go along a little bit, there is this, this filter icon here. This one up here in the top right. And what I can do is, if I click that, I can either type to filter. So if I want to find everything about the Mark 8 project, I can type Mark 8, and there you can see everything about Mark 8. Okay, or the other thing that I can do is go on to the ellipsis, this dot, dot, dot here at the end, and you can see that there are a load of different options that we can have here. So I could say, actually, just show me all of my unread notifications, or just show me anything which app mentions me personally. So let's do that now and click app mention. And there you go. I can now see only the things where I've been mentioned by name. So it's a really nice and easy way that you can just kind of manage that activity feed if you've got loads of things and you need to go through it and prioritize what order it's going to come in. Okay, last couple on then. So number 9 is channel tags. So this is quite new here. So I'm going to click on the dot, dot, dot here on the Mark 8 project team. And you can see here that I've got this option here, which says manage tags. So tags are a way of kind of subdividing or grouping people within a team. So we can kind of app mention a subset of the team. So I'm going to hit manage tags. Okay, and I don't have any tags yet. So I can see here this is like a cross-functional team. So this is a great place to use tags here. So I'm going to say I'm going to have a tag for the IT folks. Okay. And I'm just going to add myself into that one. There we go. I'm just going to add one person to each of these tags. And you can do it this way. The other way that you can do it is actually if you go back to that team again and go on to manage team, and this is the way that I like to do it, is I can see the owners and I can see the members of the guests there. And what I could do there, so once I've set up my IT team, I could go, all right, well, Grady, he's in IT. So I can just tag him there. And Joni's in IT as well. Okay, so I could set up the tag first there and then go through the list and do it. Or if you kind of go, well, these people are designers here, what I can do is hit that tag and type one that I don't even have. So designers, and create that designers tag. So I can go, right, they're a designer, designer, etc. Okay, and then lastly, let's just do one more tag here, and this one's going to be managers. Oops. Okay, so I've got managers, and I'm going to create that managers tag here. Okay, because what's important is that you can actually be a member of multiple tags. So let's say that Adele is a designer, but she's also a manager. So I could go to Adele and click on there and tag that managers tag. So it's a really neat way to be able to subdivide those. Then when I'm in my project team here, I can do a new conversation, and then I can just say at managers. There you go. At managers, everyone needs to submit their reports. There we go. And that will alert a subset of my team. So it's a really nice way, especially where you've got larger teams and you don't want to kind of keep spamming everybody with notifications. You can use those tags to cut down your group of people. Okay, my next one is it's actually back on the mobile again. So let's just switch across onto that. There we go. And this is a really useful way to share visual information when you're out and about. So let's say that I'm in a chat here and I've seen something. I'm on the Mark 8 project team and I've seen something that I want to share with the team. Now I'm on the mobile client, so I can hit new post. Okay, and I can hit the camera and let's pop to the camera here. I'm just going to take a photo here. Here it is. And what's quite nice is then I can use this pen icon up here to navigate. I can put text in here as well. And I can drag that around and do that. Hit done, and it gets posted straight into my team. There it is. So What's so great about that, you might say? Now, this is where it's really great, and especially in regulated areas where you want people to be able to take photos, but you want those photos to be handled in a secure way. Because what's great is using the smart camera on Teams. If I go into my camera roll that's on my iPhone, you can see here that that photo that I just took doesn't actually appear in my camera roll. So it's a really nice way to allow people to be able to take photos, to be able to kind of report those back. Here I can see it's appeared in my group now, but without any kind of security concerns about it going into the camera roll. Okay, so that's the top 10 tips. I actually have got like a little bonus 11th tip here, and that's around help in Teams. Now, nobody likes kind of accessing the application help, or certainly didn't a few years ago. That's all changed now. So help is a lot more useful in Microsoft Teams. And I would go on record to say that Microsoft Teams has the best in-application help. So down here in that bottom left-hand corner, it says help. Or alternatively, you can go up the top here on the search bar and do /help. And you can see here, I've got topics, I've got training, and what's new. So training is lots and lots of little bite-sized videos. So if you're there saying, okay, I'm all right with like posts and messages, but I want to know a little bit more about kind of activities and notifications, I can go to that help, and you can see here there's actually a 52-second video on filtering your activity feed, or a 45-second video on managing notification settings. So rather than sitting through a big long course or a training video, etc., you can just go and find that just-in-time bite-sized training. If you want to know what's just been dropped into the product, and are keen to always try new things out, there's this What's New tab here, and it will show you what's just been launched into your Teams client. So you can see here, this one talks about the new conversation button, which was recently added into Teams. And then topics is slightly more in depth if you want to kind of look into that a little bit more. So, what does a good meeting look like? How can admins do adoption? How can we blur our background, etc.? And one of the ones, just last one I'm going to call out here, is this one here that says find instructor-led training. So if you do want to find out more about Teams, then you can hit find instructor-led training, and there's training that runs all the time on different topics in a deep dive. So how do we get the best out of meetings? How do we get the best out of third-party apps, and things like that? So those are my top tips for Teams. It was supposed to be 10, but you got a bonus 11th one there. So if you do have anything that you'd like to share, then please share it into the comments, and we'll see if we can add that into a future video or just share it with everybody else. So thank you for watching. Please make sure that you subscribe and like and do all of those great things. But happy Teamsing, and I hope that these top tips have made you more productive.